Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. This is going to be the exam review. Okay, what you're going to want to do is you're going to study your old tests. So the Odyssey, Shakespeare, both tests. So you have Act 3 and 5, Act 3 through 5, the one you just took, and then Act 1 and 2 test. Excuse my ice maker. All right, so the test is going to be in two parts. It's going to have multiple choice. That includes true, false, stuff like that. Same thing with the associate the last name for Romeo and Juliet, as well as short answer. Now, as we said, the short answer is going to be posted. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. So today, the short answers will be posted, and you'll have us a little bit extra time to work on those. And then the day of the actual exam, you'll have the multiple choice part. Now, we're going to scroll down to the short answers here. And now, not every single one of these questions are going to be on the test, but I'm telling you, every question that is going to be on the exam is going to come from these tests. Nothing new, straight from the test. So, look at these. If you don't have your test, take screenshots, whatever you need to do. But make sure you're studying these and you have the right answers. Get with a friend, look up in your notes, go through your old classwork, anything that is going to help you find these answers here. So what are the 7 traits that define an epic hero? Remember, all of this stuff came from the PowerPoint. So look through your notes of those PowerPoints of the Odyssey or mythology. There was 2 PowerPoints for mythology. There was the 2 PowerPoints for Romeo and Juliet that we talked about. Okay, so what are the 7 traits that define an epic hero? Give an example of 2 of these. That can change to where it's just what are the 7 traits. I'm not saying that I'm going to do that, but the questions will come straight from this. They may change a little bit in terms of it may not say this part anymore, but the basic of the question is going to be the same. How does Odysseus motivate his men to stay calm when confronted by the Cyclops, and then later Scylla and Charybdis? Okay, connect this to his characterization of as an epic hero and a leader to his men. Now, I'm not going to give you these answers because they are already in your notes. They are already given to you from before. We went over them together after you've taken the test. So you're not going to find the answers here in this, but you will find the questions if you misplaced your test or anything like that. Argus and Penelope demonstrate a powerful Greek cultural value. What is this? What is that value, and how do they represent it in the Odyssey? Odysseus was not perfect. Discuss one of Odysseus's flaws and how they contributed to his journey being prolonged. Discuss 2 major themes found throughout the Odyssey. Give a specific example from the epic that provides evidence for each theme's presence. Okay, so that is our answer, or that is our questions for the Odyssey. Again, you're not going to see every single one of these. Maybe 1 or 2 from each. Who knows? Okay, and I'll go through one more time real slow so you can take a screenshot if you need to. Remember, these lines here are very, very important. Okay, as you see, be sure to use all the space provided. People are losing points on the Romeo and Juliet short answers because they're only replying in 1 sentence. These are very detailed, and sometimes multiple questions are involved. And if you're only answering 1, you're hurting yourself. Okay, make sure you read the questions very carefully and make sure you answer every part of it. If you have to, right? If you have to, while making it, make a number. Okay, 1, and then this is asking me my second question. Make sure you answer both of them in here. Okay, and then you can go back and get rid of those numbers to keep the test the same. Okay, and same parts here. Multiple questions are being asked. And you can pause the video to take pictures of the questions as needed. Okay, we'll move on to test 1. Again, these answers are found on the test review that's posted on the YouTube channel. Okay, explain what Juliet means in the following quote. What is love being compared to, and why is Juliet averse to it? What would be a better object in nature to compare love to, and why? And the quote is, "Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconsistent moon, that monthly changes in her circle orb. Let's thy love prove likewise variable." And the second question, in Act 1, Scene 2, the Capulet servingman accidentally invites Romeo and Benvolio to the Capulet ball. Explain how this happens and which characteristic of a tragedy this scene falls under and why. Okay. And now I can't go over these answers just yet because some of us haven't turned in the test. I will post my answers to these short answer questions after the deadline for the test, just so you have the answers here. Or I'll just post a video for all of it, excuse me. I'll post a video of the answers to the entire test after the deadline to turn it in has surpassed. But here you go. Here are the questions. Explain why the following quote is an example of dramatic irony. The quote is, "Death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty." Be specific and provide details from the story. So it's telling you, don't just define what dramatic irony is, right? We all know what dramatic irony is. Don't just put that definition and expect to cover the answer. Tell us exactly why this part means or is an example of dramatic irony. And then again, for some of the tests that I've graded, some people have only answered this question. They didn't answer this one. Okay? We've got to answer both questions or multiple questions that are in the questionnaire. Explain what Princess Callis means in the following quote. "For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo." How does these lines reflect the atmosphere of the story at the time it is said? For those of us that don't know when this was said, I'll give you a hint, it's the very last line of the story. Okay, so you can go back and check and look at these quotes here, just look at these quotes here and find the answers. And then, like I said, after that test deadline is surpassed, I'll go ahead and do a review for the answers here, so you have the answers for the exam. But like I said, every single question from the exam is going to come from these tests. That includes the multiple choice. And again, I'm going to count true and false as multiple choice, and then I'm going to count, I closed it. I'm going to count the name association with the families. Okay, and as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll do my best to answer them to help you out. This should be a very simple exam if we take the time and study our old test and we look back in our notes. But other than that, that'll be it for our exam review. Very short and to the point. And like I said, if you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right? Y'all take care, fellas.